Should we try it? So this is the 12 inches we got in Bellingham in my backyard. This is leaving for the first trip with Joe and the...
It's gotta be fucking hot!
Dude, I don't know that's possible.
Maybe just click on this thing full screen and just go through that way and then just flip through. Just be like quick.
Okay.
You know? It's like whatever. Do it!
Early season, we got a bunch of storms in November and December, so this is my backyard, kind of most snow that had fallen since I moved there. This is me and Joe Carlino leaving for our first trip. We were just kind of didn't know what to do, and the conditions were getting bleak, and we had ridden early, but this is us heading out to Idaho, not knowing quite what to expect. Really cool scenery on the way out there, though. This is Arrow doing switchback 180, and Joe's getting the shot. There's another tree ride that we found in the burn zone. Here's Joe and Martin kind of contemplating. We were just kind of coming toward the end of our trip, and we had heard that it was going to happen back in Canada, so we headed back that way. Went straight to Revelstoke. There's Muzzy and Surface getting the shot, getting the same shot, standing right next to each other. And it wasn't easy snowmobiling conditions, so you see Muzzy kind of dug her deep here. Which was the case, pretty much all of us were in that. Maybe not Arrow and Mikey, those guys are pretty badass, but we all ran our sleds amok a few times. And to go along with that story, this is my snowmobile. I blew the engine like 40 kilometers deep in the backcountry, and we had to have it, got the GPS coordinates and had to have it heli airlifted out and put into the back of my truck. It was a crazy experience for sure. Then we headed over to Whistler, and we had the little bit of an inside line, and we knew there was some good snow that we could find, so we went up there. And this is a shot of Mikey, Aaron's cliff down in up in like Pemberton area. It's a pretty cool zone for sure. That's Devin up on top of one of the drops that we got to hit. Good zone. It'll be in the movie. Check it out. Then I headed up to Alaska. This is Andre Spinelli, and we stayed with him for a bit. This is on the drive to Valdez. Found this McCarthy sign. It was me and Arrow, and then Scotty Lago came in too, and Nick and Joe were already there. So this is one of the first lines that we rode. Actually, Scotty did a back three off that cornice in the straight line, but it was a funny story because we were in the heli kind of flying up, scoping things out, and both Scotty and myself were like, oh, we're going to roll down and bust off this cliff. And then the cliff ended up being like a 200-foot drop, and we were just like, it just kind of opened our eyes to like what the scale was like up there. This is the Valdez is kind of right along this big fjord right here, so we got a long run out this day and a late pickup. And that's Arrow. We were doing some, it's called leapfrog, where you ride as far as you can until you stop and then the next guy goes. We had to do it across this glacier. So this is I got back to Baker and conditions were pretty good, and I hadn't shot yet with Gary, who lives in Bellingham, so we started to work together and find some cool stuff. This is Baker, the resort. This tree's got to be like 1,000,000 years old. Pretty cool. Then Scott Stevens and Chris Granier rolled up. Grand Yeezy up at Baker. But yeah, these guys were fun. We linked up and got to shred. And then this is this gap, the Artist Point Gap. I hit it like 5 years ago, and I hadn't hit it for 5 years, and it never forms right. Still wasn't perfect this year, but we got to hit it and get a couple sessions going, and it's a big jump, one of the bigger ones I hit all year. Beham spring style. We got Blauvelt, Mac, Yoshida, Dabari. Little fishing trip I just snuck in there, and horses. My girlfriend Amanda. Kurt Jensen from Sound Straight Productions. This guy's awesome. They're making How the Northwest Was Won, a new film, and I kind of grew up filming and riding with this guy. He was a big influence in my life for sure. Joe, stoked.
How was
Got
working
some
with Joe
hammers.
this year?
Loved it. It was a lot of fun. He's always got a good sense of humor about everything, and always down to work hard and find the right stuff, so super good times. All right.
That's it.